Hello again, guys. It is I, Freeze700. We are back with some Warhammer 40K lore. This time, we're talking about the Blood Games. What are they? Are they something heretical? No. So, when it comes to the Blood Games, on a basic gist, what it is it's a Custodes-only military event where the Custodes try the defenses of the Imperial Palace that the Emperor resides in on Terra. Now, this can range from a lot of things, the way that they test this defense system. This, of course, the earliest records we have is the Blood Games book, which shows Aemon Tauramachian infiltrating the Imperial Palace. But it's kind of stated that it's been a long-standing tradition. So, in my eyes, since every Custodia is trained to be an assassin, it would make sense that this Blood Games was a long-standing thing ever since the Emperor first popped into Terran history with his Custodes. So they've probably been trying each other's defenses for millennia before the Great Crusade, just to make sure the Emperor is as safe as humanly possible. And of course, with defenses being updated, with new technology, with new fortifications comes new weaknesses, new exploits, new ways assassins can get to the almighty Emperor. So this is what the Custodes use the Blood Games for. They do what Robert Gilliman does. Robert Gilliman, in his mind, because he's a Primarch, he's way smarter than a Custodes on some level. The Robert Gilliman is able to attack his own forces mentally in his own head and figure out what is wrong with his battle strategies. Well, Custodes put in more physical way instead of a mental way. They actually will go out by themselves or in groups, and they will try their best to infiltrate the Imperial Palace. Now, there is a reward to this, as there's high honor to those who actually manage to sneak in. After all, the Custodes were trained assassins. So if they were able to top all the best assassins in the Imperium, well, not the best, because, there's Vindicators and stuff like that. But if they're able to beat the Custodes, their own battle brothers, and actually sneak in without them detecting, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty noteworthy. That earns them a name. That earns them a lot of honor. Now, this has been a tradition that's actually still is being conducted as of now. It's a very useful tradition. In modern day, the way I would best use to explain it is that when it comes to hackers and software issues and stuff, the more and more we update our computers and our internet to have better protection, that means that there's new holes. And, of course, the only way that our anti-hacker companies can protect our private information is to, breach their own defenses. But when they breach through it, they give a detailed report of how they breached through it. And, of course, they don't do anything malicious once they do get access to your information. They'll just put a tiny note saying, Teehee broke through the wall doing this, this, this. And then from there, they can patch the wall and make sure that doesn't happen again. This is exactly how the Custodes do it. If you're able to breach the inner sanctum, that already earns you a Castellan. I may have pronounced that wrong. But that's a high honor for a Custodes, as that signifies that you're very skilled Custodes at doing your job. But that's very rare. Very few Custodes actually get there. And of course, every Custode is individually made, not mass-produced like an Astarte. So every Astarte has equal strength, they just have different skills. Custodes are a little different, where some of them are actually stronger than the others. Some of them are actually smarter than the others. Some of them are more diplomatic than the others. This is all individual based. So every Custode has to take part in the Blood Games. Now, there are limitations in these Blood Games. Now, the limitation is that you can't just, send a Waaagh onto the Imperial Palace and just destroy wall by wall and go, haha, I breached the inner sanctum. No, that's not the way this works. You can release a small strike force, yeah. It's happened before where one Custode released a few Chaos Marines into the Imperial Palace just to test the defenses. And the Custodes honor this. They actually prefer this, as now this gets them geared for new tactics, new battle strategies. After all, the Custodes are trapped in their fortress. They never seen Chaos Marines in 10,000 years. So releasing a few Chaos Marines every now and then, that's actually a good thing. That keeps them on their toes. That shows them what the enemy is capable of. but never should it be a full-scale invasion. The most notable, I would say, Custode was actually during the Warhammer Horus Heresy timeline known as Amon Tauromachian, and he actually did some really crazy shit. And again, this goes into limitations. There's no limit for how long it takes you to breach the fortress. Amon Tauromachian took 10 months to a year. Another Custodes, who I forgot the name, took 10 years. That's how long these blood games could get. There's no limit as long as you are able to show a weakness in the fortress. And honestly, the enemies of the Imperium, they're not going to die within a year. So, of course, it makes sense that an enemy doesn't mind slowly infiltrating. But yeah, Amon Tauromachian did some crazy shit. He actually used a drug to stop his heart temporarily, so that way he could get past some scanners. That's crazy. Are you serious? Like, they're willing to go through some major lengths if it will show weakness in the fortifications they've set up. And then he actually got so close as to actually stand next to the Emperor. Mind you, the Emperor at this time was actually walking and talking. And, and to make it even better, he tried to strike the Emperor, but only Constantine Valdor caught him at the last minute. Yeah, the Emperor was pretty amused by this, how willing Amon was to show how weak they were. And it was very scary to all the Custodes that he actually got that far. That's really scary. It's even more frightening to Constantine Valdor, as he was very nervous how the Emperor would react to Amon. He's like, I don't know, I've never seen one of us actually attempt to strike the Emperor. Like, eek, you're lucky you don't get deleted out of existence right now the way Horus does. But yeah, it was some interesting stuff about the Blood Games. Besides that, the Blood Games is just essentially a defense strategy, but it's also a ritual that all Custodes have to take. So since every Custode is individually different, that means that you get a variety of results. Some of them are able to get through the first layer of defenses. Some of them aren't. And of course, the best way to infiltrate a fortress is not by just summoning a massive army and attacking and then trying to infiltrate. No. The best way to infiltrate it is during its day-to-day standard protocols, going by their standard routines, and understanding and studying the place when it's on its day-by-day, daily basis. That way, you can see the exploits in the holes. That's what the Custodes are testing, and that's why they keep doing this. So that way they keep changing their patrols. Every day is a different patrol route. This way it keeps assassins and all sorts of nasties out of the Imperial Palace. And of course they keep changing their technology. At one point, the scanner for metal will be in the middle of a doorway. Next day, they move the scanner into a hallway instead. Again, it keeps thieves, assassins, and any heretics on their toes. So besides that, this has been Freezer 700. This is a bit of a shorter video because the Blood Games is pretty straightforward. It's just that there was a few limitations to it that I wanted to address. Like a Custodes can't just summon an army and send them in there. But a Custodes could do a few things. A Custode could also kill a few people if it means he could get in. After all, Amon Tauromachian killed a few workers and then proceeded onwards. Again, this is very fascinating stuff. There's no limitations in some senses. Like, you could use drugs, you could use certain electronic equipments to literally fry or slightly damage some of the Imperial Palace structure. But there is one big limitation that you're not allowed to, like, just unleash a horde of demons into the Imperial Palace. No. But you are allowed to unleash maybe a few squads of orcs or a few squads of Chaos Marines. Some that clearly the Custodes could handle, but it would definitely keep them occupied. It wouldn't kill them, but it would make sure that they couldn't focus on what's going on around them. Stuff like that. Something to get their attention. Besides that, this has been Freezer 700. See you guys next time. If you guys liked, click the like button. If you guys want to see more, subscribe. And also comment down below what you guys want to see later in future updates. I know Emperor's Children is going to be coming up next, post-Heresy. So I'll be talking about what they are now, as of 41K. But as far as everything else, you guys just let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going to do some more Nakai videos, and I'm going to do some World of Warcraft live streaming. So, see you guys next time.